What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a special delivery. If you've seen some previous videos, you'll notice my garage is mostly clean. I did clean out some space right here for something. We do still have a lot of crap back here. Also, I am selling this bike if anybody's interested. It's a DK Cygnus 24-inch. Let me know. But any minute now, something is going to show up right out here, and it's going to go right here. All right, so you guys saw that little teaser clip of the guy unloading it off the van, but here it is. This is my new to me 2022 Ducati Monster 937 Plus. And just as an FYI, I've never ridden before. But here it is. We've got some better lighting going this way. I'm not a big fan of this windscreen. The Plus comes with a little one. This is an aftermarket one. They make another one that's a little bit smaller that I think I'm gonna swap this out for because I'm not really a fan of the way that it looks. I'm sure it does a good job of blocking the wind, but I don't like the way it looks. It does have a few extras. So windscreen, obviously. It does have a full exhaust with the D-cat. So there's no cat down there. Full exhaust. And the tail tidy with a different rear blinker setup. I've got some parts in order, and that's actually what this video is going to be, an intro, and we're going to be installing some parts on the bike before I even get my license. Now, I am signed up for the course down here at Harley-Davidson, but the first available wasn't until the middle of August. Actually, the day after my birthday is the day we start the course. And the cool thing in Florida is once you take that course, you take the paperwork to the DMV and you get your endorsement added to your license. So it's pretty easy. All right, I'm absolutely dying out here. It is hot, I'm sweating. I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and I will see you guys in a few days when the parts get here and we start to go ahead and do that. All right, guys, we are trying something a little different for this video. Filming on my iPhone, which I already think I mentioned. And I just picked up Rode's new microphone. They're like their small or micro microphones. So hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. It plugs right into the phone, and then there's a little microphone that clips onto your shirt. It's got a magnet or a clip or whatever. So hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. Now, as you can see, we've got a couple boxes in front of us. So that means we've got some parts that showed up. Let's take a look at what we got. The first thing we got here is the new windscreen. Now this is going to go on the factory windscreen, which is over here to my left. I was able to get that from the dealer. So big shout out to them for getting that from the previous owner. They also got me the back seat. It's gonna go there. That's just a cover. And then also they got me a spare key. So very happy about that. I also went ahead and I bought the connector for the C-Tech that I already had so I can keep this thing on a battery tender while I'm not riding it, which is not gonna be that often. So I definitely wanna make sure the battery does not die. In this box, we've got some frame protection. This is all from Evotech. This was the cleanest, in my opinion, out there. And we've got the axle sliders here for the front and rear, and then the frame sliders here. The frame slider is gonna basically be right there, and then where that threaded part is where those are gonna be. There's one more box. I'm gonna run inside and show you guys what's in there as well. All right, and inside this box is some packing materials. Now, we've got some parts that are gonna be in here. Let's go ahead and get these unwrapped and I'll show you what I got. Now, these are all cosmetics, so keep that in mind. The first thing I've got is, they really do wrap these things up. That's good. Very nice. This is a carbon fiber headlight surround. This is gonna be sweet. And next piece we have, another piece of beautiful carbon fiber. These are really, really nice looking. This is going to be the key surround. So right here is where the key would be. So this is going to replace the plastic piece that's on there now. All right, next is, looks really nice. These are really, really good quality. This is going to be for in front of the instrument cluster. So this would just kind of go on the outside. This is where the Ducati badge goes, and that will just sit sort of on the front. You'll see it from the front of the bike. All right, here we've got another one. This is going to be the exhaust shield. It does have the heat treatment on the back of it to protect the carbon fiber finish from the exhaust. These are really, really nice. Yeah. And also, I did not mention this yet, but these are from Moto Composites. Not sponsored or anything, but they had really, really good prices in my opinion, and really, really nice looking pieces for a lot of different bikes. All right, we've got one more right here, and that is the biggest piece. Let's go ahead and get that unwrapped. All right, you guys might be able to guess what this is just from seeing how big it is. The rear tire cover, or the tail, and then also the chain guard. And again, all in this beautiful carbon fiber. Very, very nice. And just to show you what's actually being replaced on the bike. So This is the key surround right here. This is going to be replaced. Right under here in this area, this is where the instrument cluster cover is going to go here underneath this. Back here we've got that piece with the chain guard. As you can see, they were just black. They weren't red. That's why I went with carbon fiber back here, just to kind of get rid of some of the black and dress it up a little bit. On this side, that is going to be the exhaust heat shield, which does have some battle damage down there, so that'll be a nice replacement. And then, of course, I forgot to show this to you while I was up here, but the headlight surround is also being replaced. And again, this is just like a flat black plastic. So it will add a nice little touch to the front of the bike. And I kind of picked all these strategically because 3 of the parts are going to go up here, and 2 of the parts are going to be back here because we've got the rear tail, chain cover, and exhaust cover right here. So kind of doing a little bit front and back. Now this company does sell literally everything for this bike. If I want to do the front fender, the tank sides, the rear covers, if I want to do all that in carbon, I can. They also sell carbon covers for a lot of the stuff here on the side. I think I saw something for the clutch, something for around here. I think back here, the swing arm, maybe. There was like so many options on the website. So if you guys have a bike and you want to get some carbon fiber, go check them out. All right, well, that's it for right now. I'm gonna go for a run, hence the tank top, but I just got this stuff in and I just wanted to show you what we got. I'll probably be starting some of this tonight and then probably wrapping this up tomorrow. Now I did go ahead and get this netting from my garage so that I can keep out some of the mosquitoes and I can work on the bike in here now. Since the truck never really fit in here, I didn't see a need for it, but now that I've got the bike, I went ahead and put a new net up. All right guys, it's a couple hours later. I went for a run, I had some food. I've got a little bit of bad news concerning the instrument cover. So I went ahead and I pulled the windscreen off, the big windscreen that was here. I am replacing it with a smaller one. I don't remember if I said that or not, but I'm waiting on some hardware here because you can see they're spaced and they are not supposed to be spaced. So I'm waiting on those to come from friggin' Italy. Yeah, it's gonna take forever. Anyways, because this is a plus model, which is crazy because the website said for a plus model, this is here. The instrument cover would actually be right here if this was not here. And I would much rather have the OE windscreen than carbon fiber right here. Since this is a naked bike, I do want a little bit of wind protection. I know it's probably not gonna do a whole lot, but it should help a little bit. So first thing we're gonna do is the bike protection. We are gonna go ahead and install the frame sliders right here and then the axle sliders as well. Yay! Hi, buddy. So I showed you these already. Unfortunately, I'm missing one of these. Yeah, so that sucks. This is for the axle slider. This looks like just a standard stainless steel nut. So I'm gonna head to the hardware store tomorrow and pick one of those up. But tonight, we can at least do the frame slider and we can put on one of the axle sliders. So let's go ahead and get set up and let's do that. All right, so we've got the instructions from Evotech's website. And you have to do this one bolt at a time because these bolts hold the engine up. So if you take them all out, you're probably gonna have a bad day. Now you could support it with the jack and take them all out, but we're just gonna do it one at a time and follow the instructions. So we've got a 14 mil and we're gonna start here with this one first. We had a little temporary pause because this thing is tight. So we got the breaker bar. That is broken loose. So now we should be able to get it with the ratchet. Wow. So these aren't labeled in individual bags or anything, but if you can see, they have dots. So this one is E, which is the 3 dots. And here's the bolt. I've also got the slider bracket. It does appear that the OEM bolt had some anti-seize on it, so we're gonna go ahead and apply that. Much better. This does say to start this bolt and then let this hang down so that you can go and get the second bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up just a little bit more, and then we're gonna go for the second bolt. You guys, you're supposed to be looking out for me. I started installing this thing upside down. It's all right though, I caught it. It would make more sense if the words were the right side up, right? Right, yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna back it out just a hair because, there we go. You just wanna make enough room down here to be able to get that other bolt out. Speaking of other bolt, I did already loosen it. So now we should be able to just pull this out. Fingers crossed, nothing crazy happens. Okay, that one's out. All right, so down there, we are gonna use the one with the 4 dots, also the longest and the longest bolt. All right, now that those are both in, we're gonna go ahead and fully tighten them to 90 Newton meters. gonna go ahead and grab my torque wrench and we'll do that. All right, so that is fully tightened. 90 Newton meters on both of the bolts. Also, by the way, these are an M10, and that is that side done. The only thing that's gonna suck is if I ever wanna change out this plastic, that's gonna have to come back out. But we'll cross that bridge if I ever get there. All right, instructions say, let's go to the other side, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, we're on the right side. First, we're gonna go ahead and get this top bolt. For this top one up here, we are using the one with 2 dots, and we are using bolt H, which is 115 millimeters long. All right, so same thing, you're gonna tighten that, but not all the way, so that you can swing this down, and we're gonna get this 4th bolt out that's right down here. All right, guys, after a little snafu, I realized I had the wrong bolt on the other side because the bolts aren't labeled, and they're in millimeters, so me not having anything to measure millimeters kind of complicates things. But we got it worked out. We've got all the bolts in the right places now. I just have to take this last bolt out, put the new Allen bolt in, and torque everything down. All right, next we're going to install the bumpers, or whatever they call these things. The green plastic or rubber washer is gonna go on here. That is gonna go like that. There is a metal washer that's gonna go on the bolt. And then, of course, everything is gonna go through just like this. And bolt into that open spot there. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, as you can see, I've got it started. These are gonna be torqued to 40 Newton meters. I'm gonna go ahead and torque this one, put the other one on, and then we'll move on to the axle sliders. All right, chat, we're done. So we've got them installed, and you can see how they would protect the frame or the fairings and the plastics. See here, it sticks out enough to protect the light and everything on this side. This is a mod I 100% feel is necessary, especially because it's my first bike. Everybody says it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you drop it. So, protection. All right, guys, it is the next day. I went to the hardware store and acquired another nut because, well, one was missing. So let's go ahead and get these axle sliders installed real quick. All right, so included with the fronts, obviously, we've got the rod and the 2 nuts. We do have 2 washers as well. And then we've got the 2 ends. And as you can see, they are a little different because each side of the bike is a little different. So this one is going to go here. And then the other one I will show you in a second is going to go on the other side. And also the ends, you can see, are threaded. One is longer than the other. Again, there's a reason for that. It only goes one way. So what we're going to do is just slide it right through. It is hollow, so it's going to go right through it. And we're going to go ahead and get the washer and the lock nut on there. Now we're just going to tighten them up. You can see here, they look the exact same. Well, wanted to tighten, but as you can see, they look the exact same on both sides. All right, guys, so the front is on, and so is the rear. I didn't show this one to you because they're the same on both sides. So you literally just put it through, tighten everything down, and then you're done. All right, and then in a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and get all that carbon fiber stuff installed, and we'll wrap up this video. All right, you guys, it's time to install some carbon fiber. I just ate some dinner, gave Archer his meds, and also I took the bike for a ride. It's my first time ever riding a motorcycle, well, like driving a motorcycle. I didn't stall, I didn't crash. That's a win. It was pretty cool. I liked it. This thing's got a lot of torque, so it's gonna take some getting used to for sure. All right, so first we're gonna start with this because this should be pretty simple to do. So let's go ahead and grab that, and we'll grab a maybe a 4, maybe. It looks like a 4 Allen key, something like that. I'll let you guys know in a second. All right, that was indeed a 4. I went ahead and pulled those out, and this should just slide right off, just like that. Okay. New piece is just going to slide on out, scratching anything, and okay. All right, we're pretty much there. These are the bolts, so you can see they actually go like down in there and center themselves, and that's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these up, and I'll show you guys the result. All right, first piece is done. This thing fits really, really nice, by the way. Fit and finish, the line, the gap on all the different panels, it is perfect. Looks great. What do you guys think? All right, next we are gonna do the headlight surround, and all that there is right down here. There's a T20 Torx. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how this comes off, so I'm gonna undo this Torx real quick, and it might just slide off. We're gonna find out together. Okay, so yeah, that's all it was. That Torx down there, and then on the back side, it does kind of clip around the headlight on the back side. There's like a little lip up on the top and the sides. And then you just slowly work it out. So let's go ahead and grab the carbon one and we'll slip that one in. All right, one thing I did was I just swapped over all these little foam pieces that were on the OEM one. So I swapped over all those foam pieces and tried to put them back in the same place. I figured if they're on the OEM one, they should be on this one. So let's go ahead and slide this in. Not my most favorite fitting piece. I thought it would be a little bit better, but because it is carbon, this is essentially like a pinch point down here. So even with it tight, I don't know, it's a little loose and there's just a gap in here. I may loosen it back up and throw some double-sided tape maybe in there. We'll see. Let me think on that for a bit. All right, while I'm thinking about that, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the heat shield. This is going to be a 3mm, and I just noticed I'm missing a screw. What the heck? Guess I'm gonna have to get one of those. All right, again, another very simple swap. I went ahead and put the screw there, and I do need to go ahead and get that third one, so I'm gonna try to find one online and we'll get that ordered. All right, now we're gonna put the big piece on. This should be pretty simple as well. Looks like there's a hole there, and only one on the chain guard. So you can see right there, we've got the one. Over here, we've got the two, and right there, we've got the third. And also one quick note, we do have a zip tie right there that we have to disconnect, and then we'll make sure to reconnect it on the new piece. And upon further inspection, there's another Allen bolt down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get that. All right, thankfully, I didn't have to get that off because I couldn't. The plastic is actually slotted, so you just pull it right up and off. And same thing with the new piece as well. All right, a little bit more difficult because I did have to widen this hole a little bit right here, but that's installed now. Hey guys, I forgot to do an outro again, so here we go. And just to recap, we did the rear tire cover chain guard in carbon. We did the key surround. We did the headlight trim. And last but not least, we did the exhaust heat shield as well, which, yeah, you see that touch-up paint there? I may have damaged it a little bit. We'll go over that in another video. But that's gonna be it for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the next video now, but I needed to knock out this outro before I went ahead and did that. So if you see me in another video, wearing the same shirt, having the mic in the same place, hair, face looking the same, don't at me. As always, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed the bike content. There's gonna be a lot more bike content coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.